In 2013, Edward Snowden became famous across the world. He began as a humble employee of the NSA in the Hawaii branch. While he was in the Hawaii branch, he discovered tons of information about the ways that the NSA was spying on US civilians. Naturally, he was outraged by this knowledge, and he went to lengths such as stealing a fellow employee's password in order to download thousands upon thousands of these documents. Once he had all of these documents downloaded, he took leave from the NSA and he gave all of these documents to the New York Times and the Guardian, along with other news agencies, but these are the main two and the ones who made it most popular. After doing so, he fled to China, where he then admits to distributing more of these documents to journalists there. And after being threatened by the United States there, he then fled to Russia, where he was granted temporary asylum, and then later he was granted permanent asylum. While at first glance, Edward Snowden may appear to be an innocent whistleblower, upon further examination, he is quite obviously a negligent traitor. In fleeing to China and Russia, he moves from showing state secrets to two very prominent enemies of the United States, which isn't a great look. And on top of this, many of the documents that he shared do not have anything to do with surveillance of US citizens. Most of these documents include programs on foreign targets and foreign diplomats, and when this was released, it caused many of these surveillance programs to fail because the targets then knew that they were being surveilled, and likewise with the diplomats, they knew that they were being surveilled, and in knowing so, it hurt relations with these other countries. So all in all, Edward Snowden, and as will be discussed further on in this video, Edward Snowden is a negligent traitor.
Edward Snowden's release of 200,000 classified documents to The Guardian and the New York Times allowed for the discovery of government encroachment on the American people. But there were costly side effects. People who learn about Edward Snowden tend to fixate on the government's breach of privacy, but this is a mistake. By only viewing Edward Snowden regarding the files detailing government overreach, it is easy to say that he is a whistleblower who is defending the freedom of Americans. However, all of the information contained in these files and his actions after the leak must be considered. Looking at the contents of these files, it is evident that Edward Snowden is not an innocent whistleblower, but a negligent traitor.
His actions were that of a traitor to the United States of America. He fled the country and requested asylum from two of the largest proponents of America. Snowden also refused to return to America to clear his name and was given other nations and people full access to the 1.7 million files he downloaded and stole from the NSA. His actions made such a ripple through the world that even Putin, the president of Russia, personally intervened to get Snowden from Hong Kong to Moscow. These actions are why Edward Snowden should not be considered a whistleblower, but a negligent traitor of the United States of America.